How cute.
Hey, welcome to the show.
ET, what's up?
Not much, Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Bro, you should come to our meeting yesterday.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh, your meeting it was yesterday. I couldn't yesterday. I had
Yeah.
the boy had we went to the Kansas City Money Museum yesterday.
Over at the
Down at the Federal Reserve. Yeah. So I had
you
field
tell
trip
them
and I
like
had to
this is
squeeze
all
in.
fake. This whole thing is
Oh,
fake.
it's crazy. Okay, so my
Fake.
son goes
Fake worker. You fake.
oh yeah, believe me. I had to bite my tongue so much.
That's hilarious.
We were so my son goes to a Christian homeschool academy, and they were the one who were hosting the field trip. And we get there, and the guy who is doing the tour, he actually attends the church that that my son goes to homeschool. And so, I had to be nice. I could not unleash both barrels. I tried to ask some strategic questions in a kind way. Yeah. They he gave me a very nice answer, but kind of gave me a look too. Like one of the questions I asked him, because I had seen this in a video the other day. I was like, they're talking about how all the money and what they do with. Well, first of all, they're calling it money when it's currency, but that's a different conversation for another day.
Right. Reserve notes.
Exactly. But he was talking about what they do with all the paper money and how they, analyze it and check it, see if it goes back into circulation or if they shred it and destroy it or whatever. And I asked him, I said, so I saw in a video the other day that there are $21 trillion in circulation. I'm like, how many of those are actually printed out onto bills, onto notes? He didn't have an answer, but I bet it's less than 21 trillion.
He was like,
right, security. Exactly. Because I was going to lead that into is like, and why do we only have $21 trillion of currency when we have $36 trillion of debt? How are we supposed to pay that off?
Where does that go?
How's that work?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think it's pretty wild that like all of a sudden the thing to audit Fort Knox came up. Like I think that's pretty wild too. I mean, just because well, I think half the 3/4 of the population probably didn't even know what the hell that is. And they don't understand what, that we were ever on the gold standard or any of that stuff. So like a pile of gold in Fort Knox doesn't really mean anything to at least half. I guarantee it's at least half the people. They're so dumbed down.
Well,
and
the other thing is this guy tried to tell us that at the Federal Reserve, he tried to tell us that the United States went off the gold standard in 1933 with the Gold Act. I'm like, I didn't say anything, but I'm like, no, we were still on the gold standard. It's just the government seized all of the private gold. Yeah. Nixon took us off in 71.
Let it go over on that. Nixon, that was in 70 something, 73 maybe.
Yep. But awesome. We have another one joining us. She joined us last week when you weren't able to be with us, Mike, but she let me know that you guys know each other. Say hello.
My probation officer. Oh no, it's Sandy.
Yes, your probation officer. She keeps me in line.
I was gonna run.
So,
how have you been, Sandy?
Good.
Mike was me and Mike were just talking about my field trip to the Federal Reserve in the Money Museum yesterday.
How was that? I've always wanted to go to the Money Museum.
Oh, it's full of fraud, full of deception.
A giant.
But very informative too, though. So I don't want to totally crap on it. I mean,
like a giant hologram.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny. He was talking about inflation and and like it had, it was just a fact of life. And I'm like, no, it's really just something you guys create here. It's like your job.
I was really shocked to learn like a solid number on when they said a month ago or something about it costs 3 cents to make a penny.
Yep.
I knew we were probably in the hole, but it was 3 point something cents to
Yeah.
make every penny, and I was like, well, that figures. Like, okay, that's about par for the course. But I just was like, when I always knew they were kind of in the hole on that, but when I saw the actual number,
That's a
I
lot.
thought,
Well, but here's the thing, though.
wow,
Only the nickel is more valuable than its face value. Every American coin costs more to
Right.
make than it's worth.
Why is that?
What? Do what?
I said, why is that? You would think a dime is smaller, they would be cheaper to make.
Because the nickel's the only one that, well, they may be cheaper to make, but they still, from what I understand, not worth their face value. Nickel still has actual silver in it. And nickel's actually worth like 6.5 or 7 cents in silver melt value. But it's against the law to melt down your currency, people. Anybody listening to this, do not do that. It's highly illegal.
Do not advise.
No, highly illegal.
Did not hear it here.
No. But I would recommend just saving your nickels, putting them all in a box, putting them all in a container, and holding them just in case, zombie apocalypse happens. Then you have silver,
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. You don't even have to melt it down at that point. It's still going to be silver. People are going to know, oh, that's an American nickel.
Yeah,
exactly. So hold on to your nickels, people. I never hand them out. Like if we're in the menu, in the drive-through, and they need a little change, quarters and dimes and pennies. That's all you're getting, lady. That's all you're getting. These nickels are far too valuable.
Eric,
these nickels are worth money.
Oh, I'm totally a nickel hoarder. My kids know it and everything. Not even. Yeah, that kind of brings me to my topic that we're going to talk. I was just going to bring up for everybody who joined us today was hobbies. What the hell's everybody do for a hobby? Because like
I'm in the mortgage business. I don't get to have hobbies.
I don't get to have a hobby.
I was going to say.
Well, my kids are my hobby.
You're asking two people in real estate.
Right? I'd like, my wife's like, why's your phone always blow up at 5:00 on a Sunday? I'm like, that's what we do. Like,
what we do.
And I was like, and then I answer it too, because that's when that's the money calling.
I'm like, well, I don't have general. Well, I was going to say I don't have hobbies because I have kids, but I mean, you're all here at my hobby right now as we speak. This is my hobby. Putting on these shows and doing podcasts. I've decided now that is my hobby. So welcome to my hobby. But surely there's stuff you guys like outside of business that you can go do. I know you. I know you too, Mike. But I know Sandy longer, so I know Sandy does things.
I mean, of course.
Yeah, I have grandkids.
Yeah,
I got teenage grandkids, so anytime I can hang out and spend with my grandkids, that's pretty much family. And anytime my grandkids are teenagers now, so they're too busy for us, but we have so anytime we can go peel out and go hang with them and do that kind of stuff, we kind of do.
What do the grandkids do? Do they have any activities that they do? Like my kid plays baseball. So.
My grandson plays baseball. They're both in the band. My granddaughter is cheerleader, color guard. She wrestles.
Oh, wow.
She's, I don't know, everything. And she's got a ton of, like, it's not even possible for me to
list them all,
keep up with her. Like if we tried to go watch everything that she does and stuff. And
right.
Even this last spring, she was on spring break. She kind of said like, I'm not going to do all this next year. She's a sophomore.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, because she takes gymnastic classes and it's ridiculous. So, I mean, it keeps her out of trouble. I know I didn't do any of that stuff and I got in a lot of trouble back then.
All right.
But there was no video evidence. So,
well, that's always the plus for us.
Didn't happen.
Okay. So we've got a couple of new joiners here. So let me make some introductions while we're rolling here. We're just kind of having casual conversation about hobbies at the moment, guys, whoever's listening. But Zach Poland has joined us from Consort, right?
Conflow.
I know it's Con something.
Think of
usually I've got your little sign in the back where I can kind of cheat.
I know. I'm at a different place today.
So Zach with Conflow, he does business coaching, and we'll kind of do like an introduction of all of our businesses here in a minute. And then Ruffles has joined us. Do you have audio there, Ruffles?
I do. What's going on, guys? Sorry, I'm in the car. I picked up my dad from Minnesota, so we're doing a little bit of a road trip down to Springfield, Missouri right now.
To Springfield.
What's going on?
What's good in Springfield?
Dude, everything's good in Springfield. The 18 billion tons of cheese caves and like all sorts of stuff. Springfield's got it going on.
You got to stop at Osceola Cheese on your way down.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's good, but it is better stuff. It was better pre-COVID because then they had samples.
Well, yeah, but you still got to stop, man. You got to bring back some of that smoky bacon cheddar, man. It's like,
oh, there you go. So the peach knee-high, the mango habanero, yeah, they got it all.
They got it all down. That's fantastic.
They got a Buc-ee's down there too, right? In Springfield.
Yeah, we did just get a Buc-ee's. Kind of the northeast side of Springfield on I-44. You got a Buc-ee's, yeah.
I hate Buc-ee's.
Well, they've got a great 12 flavor.
Dude, I went to a Buc-ee's down in it was either northern Arkansas or it was in Oklahoma. I don't remember last year. The goddamn thing is, dude, if I want a gas station, I want a gas station. I don't want a Walmart with gas pumps.
No, yet you do. You just aren't mature enough to realize how much of a blessing it is in your life. Listen, the 12 flavor gummy bears slap. They got chicken fajita burritos. They got brisket tacos. They got all sorts of accoutrement of drinks. You got fudge. Fresh fudge. Listen, you are what you eat, and I'm brown, baby. So that fudge is good. So
hey, for the best fudge, you got to go to Uranus, Missouri.
Oh gosh, I've heard of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Jeff Reed has entered the chat, and the whole conversation just went off.
I just come in and pop something off and then leave.
Mike, we're gonna have to get you a mascot for future appearances. Somebody just to pop in. Yeah, like
mascot.
Jeff,
Yeah,
Yeah, he can wear the Bucky costume. It'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeff, consider yourself tempted. That is going to be worth the price of admission. And if it spikes my viewership because you show up in a Bucky's costume, it's going to be demanded from here on out. Everybody in the chat is agreeing with me. Yeah, exactly. Whatever it takes.
We don't do our best. We do whatever it takes.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's our new slogan.
We don't do our best. We do whatever it takes. I think I like that. We might have to run with that. We'll figure out how to work that into some sort of like show open. We don't do our best. We do whatever it takes. Okay. So I was starting the conversation out because I just had kind of like the thought occurred in my head this morning that it would be interesting to know what business owners do for hobbies, because we all know we don't really have time for hobbies, like real hobbies, but we still have other interests outside of our businesses. But before we get into that, we should, Mike's already told us that he likes, he hangs out with his grandkids and tries to keep up with them and fails because kids do too much.
right.
I know this.
Especially nowadays.
I'm lucky I have only one kid, so I don't have to chase one. None of my daughters have had have given me grandkids yet, so I don't have to worry about them either. But
I'm as single as it gets, so yeah, I don't have to worry about that at all either. It's great.
Well, and Zach's got a young one. How old's your kid, Zach? He's like 15?
No,
he's 19 now. He used to do dirt bike racing.
That's cool.
I remember seeing his posts about dirt bike racing.
No, that's it. And I think
that's Zach Powell.
I think he's 19 or 22. Yeah, that kid. Yeah,
dude, I could have swore that was you. Because I know there's a difference between you and Zach Powell, but I have.
Yeah, no, my kid's a welder.
Your kid's a welder.
Yeah, he's out.
Honestly, it probably pays better than ATV or whatever.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Dude, I have seriously gone 5 years looking at those videos and thought every time that was you and your kid.
No,
like every time I swear to God, because I know there's a difference. Like I totally know there's a difference. Like that totally.
Yeah, well, honestly, he kind of. It's weird, but he kind of does look like me a little bit. So
a little bit, yeah. And I mean, obviously Zach and P.O. And an L. It's like wow. Okay. Anyway, all right.
Yeah,
All right, so then fine. Zach does not do dirt bike racing as part of a hobby. What do you do?
I close. I do rock climbing. Jeep.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Jeep.
Oh, with Jeeps.
Off roading and stuff. Yeah.
So like you like have to like lower that tire pressure and stuff so you can like actually rock climb those with those.
Grip them and go. Yep.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. Have you ever rolled one over?
Oh.
No. Have you seen somebody roll one over?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it as scary as it looks on Facebook?
It's when one rolls, it's very slow motion.
Oh yeah.
And you want to stop it. You think you can stop it, but you're not stopping it. Once it reaches that certain point, it's done.
Wow, that's now. Does it because every time I've seen the videos, it kind of looks like they just get it rolled back over and just go on about their day and keep going. I mean, does it cause a lot of damage to the Jeeps?
Typically, there's damage, but it's not so bad that like it's undrivable.
Interesting.
And it depends on how well you're built too. I mean, some of them have roll cages in them that are designed, for your protection.
Right.
Or if you roll them, some of them are not. Those are going to get, they're going to get more damage. Some of them are buggies to where you wouldn't even know if it rolled.
Right.
And it's your different levels to it. Mine, but they're still, one of them is heavily built and the other one is pretty keep up with the other one.
So what's the steepest grade you've climbed?
I know exactly, but that it's I don't know what the grade is, but I only remember having a water bottle the holder one time, and the water was, but it depends on where the level is. So it's hard to explain, but I remember looking down at that water bottle going, we thought we were. So it feels different when you're in there, and then reality hits and
right.
Plane of that thing like this, and you're like,
Oh.
So it's not so much the up either. It's the off canter, which is side to side, and then you got roll back. And it's just all you're good because you got the weight of the engine holding everything down to a point.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of different.
Well, that sounds wild. All right, anybody got to do anything close to as wild as Zach? Because I got nothing on this.
I go pretty wild for my hobby. I really like massages. I think that's
I mean, that could get
I mean, like probably when you get thrown around, it's like the same, right?
I mean, like I agree with Mike. It can be an adventure. Depends on where you go.
If you're like this,
wild. Are you? I mean,
the Chinese one here. The pizza place.
My massage therapist gets a running start, just like elbows deep. It's great. It's great.
Sounds a lot weirder when you describe it like that. I got to be honest.
You don't get a running start? It's just me? It's crazy. All right. But no, I mean, like hobby wise, I mean, massages are great, whatever. But I love cooking. Cooking is my like stress relief, and so being able to put together some kind of fun dish or whatever, and just like to me, like nothing makes me more happy or like gives me the air of like joy than seeing other people happy or enjoying something too, so kind of that host mentality. And so cooking that I love cruises, as you already know, Eric.
Yes.
Enough that I've got special deals that you can't even get, man.
I know.
So,
he's
man,
Carnival Club.
I'm on like a special super secret VIP 007 level thing.
Dude, I've even called Carnival Direct. I've even called Carnival Direct to ask them for your rates, and they're like, "No, he's on the casino rates." And he's like, "No, dude, I've never been to the casino."
Which is what they just say because I've verified. I've never casinoed in my life. I promise, I'm a good kid. I don't do that.
And they literally, you are on the casino whatever rate.
Yeah, he's literally getting the casino rates.
Yeah,
and like when you talk about casino rates,
and I've never been to the casino in my life.
Casino rates on a cruise ship are ridiculous.
How many cruises do you take? How many cruises do you take?
This year I've got 4.
Well,
So every other year, just one, right? I do one. I just got out of a position where I was a CSO of a hospice company. Started as a strategic talent sourcer, moved up, handled all of their startups, and so that was an exciting little fun little time. But I did just no autonomy, and you're working like 16, 18-hour days, and I was like, yeah, I got to get back out of here and go back into entrepreneurship and just be my own boss again. Because man, I'm a shitty employee. I hate being told what to do.
I think everybody in this group agrees
Where
with
are
that about themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are your cruises for this year?
So I've got I know I have a Western Caribbean, a Southern Caribbean, and 2 Bahamas right now.
Okay.
And so I don't know what you got going on. We can do a 5th one too. Hop on in. Why not?
I've already got I got my big one scheduled for June going Mexican Riviera. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Are you doing a Virgin again, Eric?
Not yet this year. We're looking into it.
You can only do that once.
No.
Well, if you ask Madonna, it's like the very first time every time, huh?
Right.
I will reference everybody to the beginning of Reservoir Dogs if you want to talk about the Like a Virgin song. You can just find out all the.
I was thinking Moulin Rouge, but we got different backgrounds there. So.
Yeah, we definitely have different backgrounds. I'm all Quentin Tarantino, and you're over there with who is in that? Christina Aguilera. Yeah, we are not the same.
Yeah, man. Lil Kim, like Missy Elliott, all that. It's great. It's a good time. Fun for the whole family above 18.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs is the same way. It's a Tarantino movie. So
it's actually the same exact story, just less songs.
Yeah,
it's
more
crazy.
blood.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody loses an ear in Moulin Rouge. I could be wrong.
Maybe
So,
earrings.
Sandy,
I don't know, man.
Sandy, I think you're the only one who has not confessed their their hobby yet.
Well, for me, it's travel. We specifically, I like to go to Europe and do European travel. And then we are really getting into the whole camping thing. This year with I'm having some back issues, so flying on a long distance flight might not be in the books for me, but we're going to do a lot more short distance camping kind of stuff.
So Sandy is a dual citizen, and she is a dual citizen of one of the smallest countries on the planet. It's like 6 city blocks wide. It's bigger. It's bigger than Vatican City, but maybe only by like 3 blocks.
It's as big as Kansas City.
Yeah, the whole country. Yeah. Any guesses? Mike already.
I know what it is.
There you go. Mike got it. Luxembourg.
Luxembourg. She
can walk right across the whole country.
Where exactly is that?
It is wrapped. It's sandwiched around Germany and Belgium and France. So at different times, the country has been bigger, and then the bigger countries have tried to absorb it and everything like that over the years. They're very pro-American. That's where Patton was buried, and they love the Americans. They celebrate 4th of July and things like that because of us liberating them during World War II. And then Battle of the Bulge is just in Belgium to the north. And so there's a ton of World War II. If you're a World War II person, that's kind of another thing I like to.
I never would have guessed Patton was not buried on American soil.
Nope. He wanted to be married. He wanted to be buried with the soldiers.
Ah, that makes sense. That sounds very Patton-esque.
Yes. And I think it's the only country that is a duchy. So they have a Grand Duke and a Duchess for the head of their.
What the hell is a duchy? Does anybody know? I mean, how is it different than a country?
I think it had. Hold on, I'll look.
It's kind of like what's the difference between a state and a commonwealth? Because Virginia and Massachusetts are commonwealth.
Commonwealths are a pain in the ass, especially if you have any form of licensure. Pennsylvania, I think West Virginia is too, or Virginia is. Like, man, trying to get anything done there, even with a license, if it's a health and life license, if it's a medical license, if it's a hospice license, CMS, it is literally the biggest pain in the ass to deal with the Commonwealth.
So we're okay.
Yeah, we're trying to get a mortgage license there for our company. I think it took over a year just to get a mortgage license, and we're licensed in 20 some other states.
So,
and it's very expensive, and it takes a really long
so
time.
like the difference is the amount of bureaucracy is greater in a Commonwealth than it is a state, and basically the proportionality is the difference of the number of letters that you use to spell each one. So like Commonwealth is way worse because it's longer. It's a longer word. That's what I'm.
You got to pay per letter.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. I think
Yeah. So also with the.
Nope. I guess we're not going to get that explanation. Sandy, you can jump right in and tell us what you found out about what a duchy is.
It is a parliamentary form of government with a constitutional monarchy by inheritance. So in the way that the king, in England, that it goes down by family lineage, that is what happens there too. So.
Are you saying, well, then wouldn't that technically make England a duchy?
I've read someplace the difference.
Monarchy.
Monarchy though over there is more of a.
Let me see, monarchy versus duchy.
We are all figuring out great things today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so monarch the monarch is the ruler of a country, while a duchy is the country or the territory ruled by a duke and duchess. So they don't have a king or a queen. They just have a duke and a duchess.
So
the monarchy has the king and the queen.
So it's basically the same thing. We've just decided we're using different words.
Well, and yeah, sort of, I guess.
Okay, that's fine. I'm
levels
okay with that.
Yeah.
So
while we're talking about, I was thinking of that island that's basically, which I don't know, the East Ocean, whatever, Atlantic, I think. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? This thing's like 6 miles wide, and it's literally in the middle of Africa. And you're not seeing that.
Well, you're talking about the island out there?
Further out, yeah, it's one island. It's a country that's like the smallest. I thought that's what you were talking about. I'll have to look it up now because I didn't even know it existed.
Oh,
it's not Tenerife, is it?
Tenerife, I thought it was part of the Canary Islands, which is closer to Africa than.
Yeah, that's close to Africa.
But I know there is one out there, and it's not Bermuda. It's like between Bermuda and because a couple of the transatlantic repositioning cruises will stop there, and I didn't even know it existed. I have to look one of them up. Well, apparently Ruffles hit a dead zone. That's why he disappeared so abruptly.
Ruffles ruffled off.
Right.
Sorry.
And my buddy Mike was going to jump on, but for some reason he can't get his speakers to work on his computer, so he was unable to join today.
Okay.
So, but hey, and if anybody's got other business owners that want to come in and enjoy good conversation and talk about their business, because we will get around to talking about our businesses here in just a minute, although all of us have already told each other at different times what we do. We need to tell everybody else. So
hey, I have a question, if I can.
By all means.
So I've had this earworm going through my head for about 4 days now, and I don't know. I think it might be on a car commercial or something. But the song.
Are you riding with Ruffles? We're buffering.
Maybe the fan's stopping back there.
Yeah, that is cool.
I
can't even know where.
Now
Not a clue.
No idea.
Watch when it catches up, her mouth's gonna go like super fast. Totally catch up. Like
Younger. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
well, we can hear you in bits and pieces, which was interesting.
I felt like I was talking to myself, and everybody was just staring at me on my screen.
Yeah, no, actually behind the scenes, we were laughing and making fun.
Okay.
So just so you know. So re-ask your question.
What is something that you wish you knew when you were, that you know now that you wish somebody would have told you when you were younger?
Besides buy Bitcoin?
Well, that could be something.
That's
It
mine.
didn't exist then, but yeah.
When they were $200.
Let me know when it was $5, man. Like holler back. Like when I'm sitting there and I was like, what was here? That would have been like 2009, 2011 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So I would have been what, 48 now, 14 years, 34.
Mm.
And instead of me sitting there saying, man, I can't come out of pocket for $200 to buy some Bitcoin.
Right.
I just got to make sure I hold on to that money. Because I don't know. Jesus, that'd be
yeah, and you didn't know that you were just throwing money down the drain at that point either.
Yes, I did.
Well,
my only concern with Bitcoin at that point in time were the on and off ramps. I didn't.
Yeah, if you would have bought it back then, whatever you had it on would be so far like gone.
Oh, I know people like that. Like I had Bitcoin on a hard drive and I threw the computer away. I'm like, and I don't mind any of that stuff because it's like everybody who loses their Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin more valuable. It's like fine, cool.
There was some dude that they just had a big court ruling that he was trying to get him to dig up the landfill.
Yes, I saw that.
He had to throw away Bitcoin or something. Like, and he finally lost the court battle there because it went on forever and ever and ever. But they were trying to get him to. He was trying to get them to dig up the landfill.
Yeah, Jeff said that he even offered to buy the landfill.
Holy cow! And how many Bitcoin would you have had on there to make that worth the investment?
All you need is about just a few. But I'll start I'll tell you right now, like in my business, and I've got, like I said, I've got teenage grandkids right now. So I really wish that someone, would have got into me and said, buy rental properties and buy duplexes and stuff. So one of the things that I do, I work with a lot of first-time home buyers. And so when I have a young couple or young single person or whatever, I talk to them real heavy about that. Like use your, before you get into buying this expensive house, like let's talk about buying a duplex and living in half of it. You can buy it cheap and if you have to have that mentality, but kind of explain it to them. And that's something that no one ever really told me. You could do that a couple of times and you could be set and have plenty of solid income for the rest of your life. And I give them like the example of my dad. Even my dad didn't even tell me. But so my dad bought a duplex. He bought half a duplex. It's over in Kansas, over in Overland Park, like near 95th and Antioch. I think he bought it in 85 or something for like 25 grand. It's a 3-bedroom duplex with a basement and a 1-car garage. He still has it. I think, like I said, I think he bought it in 85, 86, 87, somewhere around there for 25 grand. And he still has it, and it's paying him $1,300 or $1,400 a month. Right? He's got it too low and have it high enough, but that thing has paid for itself over and over and over and over. Now he's pushing 80. He's going to be 80 this year. So now he's finally like, well, I think I'm going to sell it. So we've looked it up, and it's probably going to bring $250, right? So after he's had it, and he did it old school way. He had a job, he got a job, he bought a house and family, and then later, after that, 20 years after he was married, then he bought this half a duplex. That was his only investment property they ever bought. Instead of, like I try to tell people, hold on, let's do it the other way around. Let's buy a duplex. You could stay there for a year or two. You could actually buy another one and buy another one. If you did it a couple of times, you had next thing you know, you got six units, and life changes. Like your life is completely different if you've got $7,000 a month coming in on the side that doesn't affect your work. Like your work day changes automatically when you don't have to worry about that. Kind of like the other guy was talking about being a terrible employee, like I am too. So that's one thing that I've been real heavy on. And anytime I get a young couple or young, anybody that's trying to buy first time a house, I was like, let's explore this option, because you can make your life a whole lot different without you're already paying $1,800 a month for some stupid little crappy place. Like, why don't you live in your own? Let somebody else pay you.
Oh yeah. What do you got, Zach?
Oh yeah.
Well, along that lines, and it pretty much ties back with that and anything else I should have done but didn't do. My advice to me is don't, or just because you think it doesn't mean it's true, or don't believe everything you think, because
what if it's on the internet?
But it doesn't matter. You're still thinking
it's true,
right?
It's so many times I look back to, like my early 20s and think, because I was the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to buy apartment buildings or whatever. And then you go talk to somebody. I literally did this. I walked in when I was 19 years old and said, give me all the apartment in Warrensburg, because that's where I went to school, to a realtor. And I was like, hey, give me all your apartment buildings that are for sale. And there was probably a dozen of them at that time. And I didn't know what I didn't know. And then I remember looking at me like, you're not, like, this isn't going to happen. Like, you have no idea what you're doing. And I remember that weighed on me, but I absolutely should have figured out how to get that done. Whether it took other investors or whatever, we could have syndicated the deal. But I gave up, because I thought, nope, I must be too young, because she said I was too young. Just that really pisses me off when I think about stuff like that, or any other thing. So
it's funny. Because when you're young like that, and I use the same thing as my wife and I went to buy a house one time. We were probably 21 or something. Everybody's like, buy a house. So we lived up north, and we got with his agent, and he just like put us in his car, drove us around. Like, here you go, write a contract, and next give him earnest money, give him money for the appraisal, earnest money, whatever. It's like just like a whim, boom. And then the next day they called. They're like, sorry, you don't qualify. You don't have any credit. And then, but we're not giving back any of your money either. They were like, not going to refund your stuff. So that's another thing. Like, I try to guide people through that. I always keep that in my mind because so many people don't have a clue what's going on, and then just kind of guide them through the process. And then I have a question. They don't listen anyway, and then you do whatever they want. I try.
I have a question for you. I have a and I've asked this in the past to other like mortgage people or that do whatever. I've got a condo. It's 100% paid for. It's in Johnson County too, and I keep trying to figure out how to get money out of that, but it's always weird.
Like to refi it?
Yeah. But like a or have like a revolver on it or whatever. I don't know what
like a reverse mortgage?
like a home equity line or something.
Yeah, just a home equity line, I guess. But they don't do those for that type of deal, right? Or do they? There's some roadblock that I keep running into.
Yeah, there might be, but that sounds like the lenders be like, I've got I don't know. It's just a condo, or is it a townhouse, or what?
What's it? It's a condo. I don't know they call it a condo, but it's apartment house place thing. I don't know.
Well, if you own it, it's a condo.
It's in like an 8-plex.
And you own just the unit?
Independent entrance. They call it a condo because that's just what they call it, but to me,
like a condo to me. All right.
I can look into it, but that's when you get into condos and heat locks and all this stuff, the risk gets a lot higher. Non-owner occupied condo, home equity line. You might be able to get just a conventional loan against it. If that's what you want or not. You might be able to just Hash it
want
out.
more of like a HELOC. Like I don't need the money. But in case I do, it'd be nice
Right.
Have access to it.
safety net it. Yeah. But if I do anything else, I pretty much have to pull the money out, right? And then I'm paying interest, which I don't really want to do unless for whatever reason. But
HELOC it and buy Bitcoin. That's what I would do.
I'm gonna email one of my local. I got a local credit union friend. I'll email her right now and see.
All right, I've got
suggestion was going to be to go to a credit union, that you might have a little more luck with a credit union or a small.
Actually,
yeah.
I didn't even think of a credit union. But back to your Bitcoin point, I had not realized. I hadn't looked in a couple of days. I don't know what happened, but that is not at this point terrible advice that I would throw away, because we're down like 16,000.
I know, dude. We're at 84. We're 84.7, man. I mean, like, Bitcoin is on sale, people.
Oh,
you're getting ahead of the deal. For sure. Okay, so aside from my Bitcoin point, I got another bit of advice that I wish I would have had somebody give me when I was younger, especially since if we're talking about before Bitcoin even existed. And that would have been, hey, kid, go get a career, then go to college.
Yeah.
Go be a real estate agent. Go be a construction worker. Go learn carpentry. Go be a welder. Go be a mechanic. Go be 1,000 different things that you can go and get paid as an apprentice, that gives you a skill that you can build a business with, that you can take with you no matter where you live. You can be in Missouri and be a real estate agent. You can be in Kansas and be a real estate agent. You can be a carpenter in all those places. You can be a welder. All those skills and licensing that you get, that you don't have to go to college for, you can carry with you wherever you go. Establish yourself with a regular, steady stream of income from a good career-oriented job. Go to college and pursue your passions, because you've put the money in place and now you're earning money. And I'm not saying you can't, don't take out student loans if you don't have to, but even if you had to at that point in time, you wouldn't have to take out as much student loans. You'd be able to manage them much better. If you pick the right careers, you can have plenty of time to go to college, especially when you're young. Like being a real estate agent when you're 18 years old or 19 years old. Yeah, you don't know your ass from a hole in the ground, but you can live at home with your mom and dad. so getting paid on commission only is not that big of a deal, right? You can live with mom and dad for 2 years while you build your book and build your business. And then by the time you're done, you've rat-holed $20,000, $30,000 away. You go take Mike's advice to go buy a duplex to move out of your mom's house, and you're way ahead of the game. By the time you're 25, you're just like, okay, now I want to, go to school. I'm very interested in law, or I'm very interested in medicine, whatever, engineering, whatever the thing is. Like if you want, like my son wants to be a mechanic. Okay, go be a mechanic, get your job, then go to school and learn to be an engineer. It just all follows. It all flows. And I wish, because when we were growing up, at least the way I feel after, looking back, I feel like it was like the only thing you could do was go to college. And if you didn't do that, you had failed. Right. And
that's what they tell you. That's what they tell you.
Yeah, because it perpetuates the entire student loan apparatus. I mean, people are getting rich off this shit. Yep. And I literally had people tell me that just go to college. Well, I don't know what I want to do. You'll figure it out when you get there.
Right.
I couldn't have gotten worse financial advice. And it wasn't just the really bad counselor at the public school that did this to me. I mean, it was like the entire society. All around you. I mean, my dad was that way. And I'm not throwing shade at my dad, but I mean, my dad was, my dad dropped out of school before 11th grade. And, the only thing that was important to my dad was that his kids graduated from college, right? They got out of high school and they went to college. That was the only thing that mattered to my dad.
Well, keeping you out of jail.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's happy we stayed out of jail. Well, actually, that's not true. That's completely not true. My dad's not happy that I stayed. Hell, my dad made sure I
He didn't
stayed
keep you out
in
of jail? Oh,
My dad made sure I stayed in jail. Like literally, true story. True story. Zach knows my dad. Sandy knows my dad. I think Mike, you're the only one who doesn't know my dad. Trust me. You'll be like, yeah, you'll get my dad after this story. So I did not pay a traffic ticket, and I'm pulling into Raytown after coming in from downtown, and I'm driving down Blue Ridge past, or about to be up to Mount Olivet Cemetery, and I see a police officer behind me, and I'm like, shit, I got a warrant because I didn't pay a traffic ticket. So I make an abrupt left into my buddy's neighborhood and pull up to my buddy's house in Gregory Heights. And so I pull up to my buddy's house, get out of the car, me and my brother together, and we run into my buddy's house. We're like, all right, hey, man, I need to lay low for a few, 30 minutes or so. Let the cops pass by. I don't want to, I got a warrant and I don't want to get any tickets and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, so we chill out, we hang out, we do Raytown things. You figure out what that means on your own. We did Raytown things while we sat there, and then eventually I was like, all right, man, I got to get home. I got to get back to it. So I walk out of my buddy's house and I take 3 steps off his front porch and I glance down the street, and sure as shit, there's a police officer sitting right there just waiting. And so I make a complete a heel pivot turn on right there in the middle of the sidewalk and turn right around and go back inside. 3 seconds later, 2 cop cars zoom right up to the front. And I'm sitting there debating at this point in time. I'm like, I could make a mad dash out the back door, hop the fence.
They always run.
And it's like, I could make a run for it. I don't know where I would go, and my car would still be at my buddy's house, but I could make a run for it. And eventually I was like, dude, it's a speeding ticket. It'll be fine.
I can't believe they went to that trouble for failure to appear for a speeding ticket.
Well, it's Raytown.
It was a slow day.
Yeah. And so I go out. The cop's like, you have a warrant out for your arrest, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. And I just turned around to put my hands behind my back, and he put the cuffs on me. He takes me to jail. So I get to jail. I get my one phone call. So naturally, I'm going to call the old man. Pick up the phone. I'm like, Dad, I got arrested. What'd you get arrested for, son? Well, I didn't pay a speeding ticket. Well, damn, son. I've told you got to be careful about that stuff. I know, Dad. But can you come down here to get me? And he's like,
nope.
Sorry, son. I got an antique auction I got to go to. I got to leave right now. We'll see you later. Click. And hung up the phone in my ear.
I believe it.
Are you kidding me? I had to call my uncle and my dad's girlfriend at the time to get my butt out of jail. I beat Dad home before he got home from the antique auction. Like, he literally was not home from the antique auction when I got home. And then he comes home. He's like, "How was your night in jail, son?" I'm like, yeah, thanks, Pops. Appreciate you. Nothing but love for the old man. Nothing but love for the old man. Good lesson. Good lesson. So later, when I was an alderman for Raytown.
Yeah. Did you give yourself a
No.
Did you pardon yourself?
No, I did not pardon myself. No, actually, Raytown was having serious financial issues, so I had to cut the police budget. I promise it wasn't vindictive at all. It just had to happen.
That was quite the S show that you created when you were an alderman.
Oh, yes. I created lots of them. Remember the one that I created that got me on the news because I talked about making Walmart a public nuisance?
Mm-hmm.
How long ago was this?
2015, 16, and 17.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were in there, and we were in a meeting, and they were talking about all of the extra police activity that we had around our Walmart in Raytown, and what kind of extra drain that was on city resources. And so I just strictly out of curiosity was like, well, could we declare Walmart like a public nuisance or something like that to like make it to where they have to help pay for
Police
the
their
crap?
own.
Yeah, to policing their own stuff. Oh man, like the crowd got rowdy and a bunch of, calm everybody down. I completely off-footed the police representatives who were sitting there at the desk in front of us while we were asking questions. Like they had no idea how to actually respond to that. 2 days later, I'm at work and I have two people come into my office from some like national union thing, right? Some labor organization. They come into my office and they start grilling me about my opinions about making Walmart a public nuisance. And what do I think about Walmart and this, that, you know, because they were like just after Walmart. And I'm like, people, you got the wrong impression, man. I'm not an anti-Walmart guy. I just, you know, I mean, if they're causing that much trouble, then maybe they should pay a little more for the police protection around their building. That's all. Like, I'm not interested in tearing down their whole business model or anything. Yeah, it was crazy, man. I had news people come out to my business and interview me with questions about it and everything. I was on like the nightly news for like a week. It was crazy.
Yeah, and Raytown Unleashed, which is one of the Facebook groups that
they kicked me out.
Is in Raytown. They were not a fan.
Oh no, they kicked me out.
They were not.
Nobody on that page likes me. Are you kidding me? They all hate me over there. They all hate me over there. That's fine. It's fine. They will motor along.
It could be worse.
Do what? What'd you say, Mike?
It could be worse.
Oh, sure.
I've got a couple friends.
Everybody in Lee Summit could hate me.
Yeah, I've got a couple friends who are cops. I mean, the Walmart, they pay big money. They work on Walmart on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, that was part of what it was because the city was getting charged overtime. You know, for officers, you know, spending extra shifts up there at the Walmart. Or at least that was part of it. So that's crazy. Anyway,
yeah,
we are wrapping it up now. We're down to the last 7 minutes or so of the program. So let's let everybody know what we do, who we're with, and I don't know, give some sort of refer these people to me. Go, Mike.
Oh, I was gonna let Sandy go first. Ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. Okay, fine. Ladies first. Ladies first.
Okay. Sandy Reed. I'm with Chartwell Realty and the Reed team at Chartwell Realty, and we buy and sell real estate. I have been doing it for 21 years, and the other people on my team are all highly experienced agents as well. So, if you're looking to buy or sell, definitely. And then I think I met Mike through a program that I belong to called Homes for Heroes. And I might be wrong on that, but and it's a program that offers savings for police officers, firefighters, and people in education and people in healthcare when they buy and sell their houses. So, if you fit in that category, I can save you a bit of money and you still can get the best rates and the best everything that you would get with the lenders, and just an extra perk as a way of us saying thank you for doing what you do so I can do what I do and I don't have to do your job.
All right, Mike, you passed the buck long enough. It's your turn now.
Story is not dead. See, so I Mike Foot with Summit Lending. Broker. So I've been in the business. Every day seems like really long time, like it's really longer. It's a wild ride.
Years anyway.
Yeah, this week's been a long week already. It's never boring. Good thing. So you got a couple dozen different lenders that we use, and I mean that's the difference between us. If you go to us and you go to like a local bank or one of the local mortgage companies who's a retail company, they only have their own products. So I've got dozens of other products that I use. So if someone comes to me, they got special credit issues or trying to buy some kind of a different property or something like that, investment properties and things like that, we can help them out. We have a whole lot of different things we can do. We'll be a lot more creative, and I can pull one from one lender if we get something going on and a lender doesn't like a deal, a particular deal, well, I can pull it from that lender and take it to another lender, which a lot of people can't do. So, but we just fight to get the deals done. We close everything we can and try to take care of people, inform people, and make everybody
Awesome.
happy. Get them in their dream home.
There you go. There we go. All right, Zach, you're up.
Yep, Zach Pohl, Conflow Strategic. I help small business owners, which is anything $40 million or less, so pretty much anybody that we know. Help them develop a proven process to a plan to get and gain and keep more profits inside of their business. I do. It's a free 45-minute business assessment where I guarantee I can find $50,000 worth of profit inside. We look over 6 different items to find out where that stuff it can be pulled from or made up from. And now when I say that, it's usually a business that's doing at least over $200,000 a year. Eric, I know we've been through that process, so you've kind of seen a little bit of what that does look like. But that is, yep, that's the offer to any business owner. That's not an assessment or evaluation as much as it is an assessment of where you can find, pull, and keep and retain those profits inside of the business. That
I for one, after going through the process, I will tell you this, because I don't have enough business track record to take it full advantage of all the stuff that Zach offers. But as a person who had a business that had such a long track record in the past, I could tell by everything we went through that you would glean a ton of very valuable information just from the free consultation, much less like the entire plan that he would put in place for you moving forward. Just the consultation will be an eye opener for you, especially if you have a good, solid track record of business, which I'm just so new. I just don't have that yet. But
Zach, are you a financial planner, or what?
No, I'm not a financial planner. I mean, we obviously we cover a lot of finances because small businesses, that's primarily the thing. And I'm not an accountant or a bookkeeper or anything like that, but it's very crucial to pay attention to those things. But no, as far as any credentials, as far as that go, I've had multiple businesses. I own 3 in operation businesses.
Apparently it's Zach's turn to free.
Now Zach,
I had the system that I could have put into that. Am I still there?
Yeah, you're here.
Yep. Oh,
you're back.
Yeah. I always say, I wish that I had the system that I have now to put into that business that I had sold, or I would have sold, for 5x, or maybe I'd still own it today. It's just, there's just that much power inside of it.
It's much more about process, organization, and efficiencies within your business, as opposed to it being anything about, I mean, it's not, I mean, yeah, much like the finance, you also touch on marketing, you also touch on, all the different aspects of your business. But at the end of the day, it's about, improving the operations and the processes you have within your business, so you can maximize the profits that are already there and grow them from that point forward. At least that's what I took from it.
Yeah. It's taking a business.
Zach, I sent you a friend request on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. I sent you a friend request on Facebook. Send me a message, because I've got a group, like Eric came to it a couple weeks ago, that I run, that's local business. So we have like 1 seat per business, but it's a lot of local business and salespeople. It's about 15 right now. Mm-hmm. That it might be something for you to come and visit, chat, and see if we can find some business for you.
Yeah, I'd love to.
So I'll make sure I'm there. Yeah, and I'll make sure I'm at the
Eric even behaved himself there.
I was good. There's a lot of good people.
We don't have to distance ourselves from him.
No, I mean, I even wore deodorant.
No, you just act like you just met him. Yeah, that's what I did. I was like, "What's your name again?"
Yeah, you don't have to say I know you. Yeah, that's fine. That's why I tell everybody for my group trips, I'm like, hey, we're gonna go on this group trip, but you don't actually have to hang out with me. You can go on the other side of the boat. Even tell me to go on the other side of the boat. That's fine. I don't care. It's cool. I'm just there to have a good time. So if you go on our group trips, don't feel obligated to hang out with me or anything. It's okay. It's perfectly okay.
Nice. All right, Phyllis and lady.
Well,
lady.
It's been a pleasure. The group is growing. We even had up to 5.
Absolutely.
So if you do know anybody, shoot me a message on Facebook and I will send them invitations if you know any business owners that would like to join. Just keep in mind, I can only have 10 on here at once. And if we get 10 on here, it's going to be pretty crowded. But I can only have 10 on here at once. And it's kind of set up on a first come, first serve basis. So, but yeah, definitely. And I do like to, I've got multiple real estate people. I probably know a few extra mortgage people as well. I really probably only want to have one of you for each industry on at a time, but obviously we can't all make it every day. Other than me can make it every time. So if I have backups, that would be good too. So just keep that in mind. And like Sandy, you've got people that work in your organization. Mike, you've got people who work in your organization. If you want to have them sit in for you, I'm perfectly fine with that as well. So, all right, guys. You guys have a great week. Be successful, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Bye.